Jermaine Mendonça, Chapter 2, Segment 2. Observations of behavior may generate hypotheses to be tested. Observations can lead to hypotheses. A hypothesis is a tentative explanation for an event, and it must be testable. Occam's razor is a principle that states that when choosing between hypotheses, choosing the simpler one is better. An example of that would be the clever Hans, a 20th century horse in Berlin that was said to be able to work out mathematical equations. It was later discovered that his owner was giving him cues. Experimentation can reveal cause and effect relationships between variables. Experimentation is a way for scientists to discover how variables affect one another. If a variable affects the other, then it's said that there is a causal relationship between them. Causal relationship means that there is a correlation between variables, but that they do not necessarily affect one another. In every experiment, there are different variables. There are independent variables, which are variables that are manipulated in the experiment. Then there are dependent variables. Those variables are either affected or changed by the independent variable. There are also different types of groups in the experiment. There is the experimental group, or the treatment group, which is the group that is being manipulated, and that relates to the independent variable. There is also the control group, which is the comparison group. It is a group that is similar to the experimental group, but was not manipulated. After doing such experiments, scientists must publish the research. Some of the work done by scientists will be repeated, which is called a replication. It is mainly for experiments that will have serious impacts. Then there is meta-analysis. That is the altering of different factors in an experiment. It is used to determine whether a manipulation will affect the behavior of an interest. Strong inference is the process of disproving as many plausible hypotheses as possible. Folk psychology, or common sense psychology. These were ways that people of past times have figured out the behavior of people and animals. They're simple stories passed down from generation to generation, culture to culture, such as absent makes the heart grow fonder, or out of sight, out of mind. From there, strong inferences were created. To have a strong inference, you must come up with a hypothesis. Design an experiment to either prove or disprove the hypothesis, conduct an experiment, and then start the whole process over again. You want to repeat the steps in order to have more accuracy and to disprove other hypotheses. A hypothesis can be disproved, but it can never be proven true. A theory is a group of hypotheses on a single subject that have all been tested positively and are compatible with each other. In psychology, a theory addresses both behavior and mental processes of people. Such examples would be why we forget, how children become more sophisticated in their thinking, and how two sides of the brain differ in function. A theory applies to a larger range than a hypothesis. It is more general. Theories that cannot be disproven fall outside the realm of science. Such theories would be that the world does not exist, or that religion is outside the realm of science as well.